Run away, run away, run away, run away. I know that I should, but my heart wanna stay, wanna stay, wanna stay, wanna stay now. You can see it in my eyes that I wanna take you down right now if I could. So I hope you know what I mean when I say, let me take you dancing. Two-step to the bedroom. We don't need no dance floor. Let me see your best move. Anything could happen. Ever since I met you, no need to imagine. Baby, all I'm asking is let me take you dancing. Like da 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 da. Skirt on your body, it's just us two in this party. That Louis, that Prada, looks so much better off you. Turn me up, be my waitress. No, we not in love, so let's make it tequila and vodka. Girl, you might be a problem. Run away, run away.
Looks like you've got a new tenant next door.
Who's ready to sweat?
A Lifetime original movie.
Yes, new health and wellness studio.
Ripped from the headlines.
Specializes in Pilates.
Oh, what now?
And inspired by actual events.
Eddie Smith, you're under arrest.
I'm Sadie, and I own the new health and fitness center, Dazzle and Spin. Guaranteed to make you sweat.
Feeling pretty warm already.
Like some sort of sexed up Mary Poppins.
It sure seems business is picking up for her.
Jim. A sweaty scandal.
This is a problem?
Well, this is illegal.
In a small town.
I help people connect to their partners in new ways.
Over 95 clients. She is filming porn at your house.
I'm gonna have to get a cleaning lady.
Why is it so hard to start a new business in this town?
Let's Get Physical. Premiere Saturday, October 15th on Lifetime.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Let's Get Physical panel with stars Jennifer Irwin and Michael Consuelos. Thank you for being here today. Our first question, that's a very fun promo. Our first question is from Mr. Dark Eye Podcast. Please unmute to ask your question.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good.
Good, how you doing?
Doing well. So my podcast is about motivation to trust God and live your dreams. So I know a lot of people gonna ask y'all questions about the show, but what I want to know is from each one of you on your journey, what's the hardest part about getting to a point where you live in your dream as an actor, the challenges that you had to face, and how did you overcome?
What a hard first question.
Yeah, I'm jumping it off this right.
We can't go to softball question here. I mean, you're going to really make me rethink my whole life choice here. What are the challenges of being an actor? Is that the crux of the question? I didn't hear.
Basically, because I know that it's a dream of a lot of people to become actors and actresses. So, you know, when you guys share your story about some of the challenges that you face and how you overcome them, I believe that it can be a blueprint or some kind of a guide for those who are looking to follow in your footsteps.
Well, I would say just off the top of my head, I think it's, and it took me a lot longer, I think, than it does a lot of actors, but to get to a point where you're able to really tune out what other people think about you. And it's easy to do that when you're on set and you have costumes and hair and a script. You know, you're kind of going to get absorbed in a character and the world that you're creating. But it's the life after, you know, a job ends, where you have to kind of, you know, you're constantly trying to boost yourself up and maybe go out for parts that are out of your comfort zone or out of how people perceive you. So I think, you know, constantly trying to challenge yourself, but also like keeping your spirits up in a really ruthless and tough industry. That would be my.
Absolutely. Those are all really good points. I don't know if you want me to answer this too, but I will. You know, man, The hardest part really is starting, I think. And I've been very fortunate, but because I've gotten a lot of opportunities. But even then, like it's not easy. Everything. I think, yes, what Jennifer said about like tuning out what other people say, but also learning to hear no a lot is it's and not letting it affect your spirits. Like just knowing that you're in this for the long haul and that you'll have to kind of fall on your ass a lot, and get back up. It's very hard, but really ultimately very, very rewarding. And yeah, good luck to anyone starting. Like it's really worth the journey, I think.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Great answers. Thank you so much. Our next question is from, thank you, Life and Entertainment.
Thank you so much for allowing Life and Entertainment to be on this wonderful panel. Let's get physical. I love it. So my question would be open to the panel. It's a fun question, I believe. With your selection process as an actor when selecting a role, how important is the selection process for you, and how does that coincide with the legacy that you want to leave behind in your career?
That's also a really interesting question. Wow. Jennifer, do you want to go first with this one too, or should I? Or
you go.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my answer might not be the most glamorous, but I'm just starting out, so I'll take what I can get. At this point, the selection process isn't very rigid. But really, I mean, there's something worthwhile in every opportunity. I think every little chance to be on screen or on stage or whatever, it yields rewards. There's something finding something meaningful is half the job, I think. And I think even if something doesn't seem like a lot, it leads to something else. There's at least in my case. I hope that makes sense.
That was a good answer.
Well, thank you.
I think in terms of this specific project, because I think the reasons for taking jobs are always different, but and they can be affected by where you are personally, or who you're working with creatively. But in this case, I was familiar with the story. I had read the article like way back, I don't know, 2013. Mm-hmm. About this woman who'd come into this town and kind of blew up the town, and marriages that ended and friendships that ended. And so and I had obviously watched a lot of Lifetime movies in college, trying to avoid studying, binging Lifetime movies. So I thought I had an idea of what their take would be on it. And then I had read it and was sort of surprised. It was an unexpected take, and that they had sort of leaned into the humor in a show, or in a subject matter that I guess at first glance doesn't seem particularly funny, because people, not to gloss over the fact that people were very hurt by the situation, but obviously there's humor in everything, and I think they really leaned into it, and I found myself like chuckling along, and that's not what I was expecting to do. And I loved the character that I got to play. And I play a lot of best friends in my career, but this best friend, this character was interesting for me, because I think she was someone who was trying to stay open-minded, but at the same time she was very loyal to her old friendships, and also sort of steadfast and loyal to this new friendship that she has with this woman who's kind of breezed into town. So I thought that was sort of an interesting thing to play. And obviously there's I have an unnatural fear of pole dancing, which and I'm no word of a lie, for some reason when I read the script, I missed the part that said that I had to do it. I think I read it too quickly. So I read it, oh, this is really funny. This is fresh. This is an interesting, funny, approach to the story. It'll be fine. I won't have to pole dance. Jenna, the professional dancer, will have to do that. So that's good. So that, yeah, that was, when I showed up, we kind of went right into a rehearsal for pole dancing.
Well, I am super excited about this show. I cannot wait to see it when it comes out. You guys did such a wonderful job. Each character, y'all mix well, you blend well. I pray you so many blessings and abundance. Thank you so much for allowing Lifeitme Entertainment to be on here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Our next question is from Mike Hughes.
Yeah, for Michael, kind of go back to the first question here a little bit, because you had flashing in front of you your whole life, all the advantages and all the disadvantages of being an actor. So did you always know you wanted to be an actor? Did you go through a phase where you can be a cowboy or an astronaut? And how did you finally decide to be an actor?
That's a really great question. And, it's, entertainment has been kind of like at the forefront of my life for all of my life. And it kind of just seemed natural to me to follow in that path. And I don't just act. I also, I work as a producer. I'm writing my own projects on the side, but really entertainment is very, very important to me. And yes, obviously there is, the obvious thing to note on is that there is shoes to fill, or, like a kind of big, not even a shadow, but like there's kind of a high standard, I guess, that I grew up with. But I didn't really pay it any mind. It just seemed like motivation for me. My parents do what they do, and I want to do what they do too. That was kind of my way of going about it. And I hope that was eloquent. I don't know. I kind of stammered through that.
Semi-eloquent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next question is from H.J. Ellison, Gospel Spotlight. Please unmute to ask your question. We can always come back. Jamie Ruby from Sci-Fi Vision.
Hi, thanks for talking to us. So what I want to know is, what has playing these characters taught you about yourselves?
That I can't pole dance for one.
Besides that.
That I get motion sickness. What does it taught me about myself? Well, I think that, to keep an open mind to people's choices in life. And, that the quality of loyalty, I think, is kind of underestimated. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, sorry, we'll get HJ, we'll get to you in a second after Michael answers Jamie.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Petey,
like Michael.
My character is kind of like the comic relief character. But, there is something to learn from him too. He doesn't have a lot going for him. He's kind of down on his luck for most of it. And I guess, I guess Petey's struggles taught me to better appreciate what I have going for me, and, take chances, apply yourself, because he's kind of a burnout. I mean, I like him. I like all the characters I play, but he's a motivator to not rest on my laurels, I guess.
All right. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you. Okay, H.J. Ellison.
Yes, my question is, was this the most challenging role for both of you that you've ever done?
Again, I don't want to harp on the pole dancing, but
okay.
Physically, yes, it was the hardest job for me. I get motion sickness, and I pulled my back out, so I wasn't able to walk after about a couple of rehearsals. So physically, yes, but honestly, the rest of it was just kind of a dream. It was really, really fun. We all really gelled. Everybody got along, and we shared a lot of laughter, and the rest of it was pure joy, honestly.
Before I answer your question, I want to say that in one version of the script, it ended with everyone taking Sadie, the character, her class, and I was included in the scene. And I thank my lucky stars that the script got changed, because I really did not want to pole dance.
You dodged the bullet, let me just say, you dodged the bullet.
Thank God. Yeah, I mean, I remember when you injured yourself. That was intense. But yeah, PD wasn't terribly challenging for me. Awkwardness kind of comes naturally, I guess. So I was able to slip into that pretty easily. But thank you for the question.
Thank you, Jennifer and Michael. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That's so funny that was another version. Rick Bentley.
Thank you very much. Jennifer, it's a two-part question for you. First off, in doing this, did you feel like this was a story that would have unfolded differently? Because there's a big point made about it being in a small town. Do you think it would have unfolded differently in a larger town? And secondly, since Jenna's not here to talk about the show, can you just talk about working with Jenna?
Yeah, she's a dream, first of all. I'll answer that right off the top. Down to earth, lovely, very welcoming. I was hired very quickly, and we all kind of like hit the ground running very quickly, and she could not have been nicer and more fun and open to changes, which sometimes doesn't happen. And just a great creative person. It's very humbling, dancing next to her, because she's this athlete and a spectacular, like, world famous dancer, but never made anyone feel less than. If anything, kind of boosted everybody's morale. She was lovely. And sorry, I forgot the first question. What was the first question?
Would this story have unfolded any differently? There's a big deal about it being in a small town. Would you think it would have unfolded differently if it would have been in a large town?
I think so. I think because, I've spent some time in small towns, and, everyone's up in everyone's business, and everyone has an opinion and about everybody's business. So I think how she kind of breezed into town, and in a very short time, a lot of people were hurt. A lot of marriages and friendships exploded. So, and everyone knew about it. So I think it made this town that thought of itself as this, like, Norman Rockwell, safe, affluent haven. It made the whole town sort of question who they were. But also I think, even less than the fact of it being a small town versus a big town, I think the way we see that story has changed in the last couple of years. The way we look at sex work has changed in the last couple of years. And I think now we're allowing for a little, broader angles and taking maybe a different look. I think, if this had been made 10 years ago, it would have been, the character of Sadie would have been 100% villainized. But I think now it's like, oh, well, maybe other people can share responsibility for what happened to.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have time for one more question. And as I mentioned before, any questions we didn't get to, feel free to email us. We have that in the chat, and we'll be able to get your questions answered. Starry Constellation Magazine.
This was such a different role for you, Jennifer. Usually the comedic role queen. Was there something that really drew you to be a part of this film?
Yeah, there was. I mean, and honestly, it felt like the closest to me. Normally when I play comedy roles, there's a heightened quality, and you're kind of hiding behind not a cartoonish quality, because every character you have to come from something real, but this felt the closest to myself and how I might have handled that situation if a friend of mine had or if I'd felt betrayed by a friend of mine. I would hope that I would at first give her the benefit of the doubt, which I think she does. And then kind of, you know, sort of steadfast in her loyalty. And then when she realizes later on that she might be betrayed too, I think those reactions are probably how I would. So it felt very easy to kind of slip into that character.
Thank you so much. We should have sent out Petey's muffins like for all the journalists. Too bad.
That would be great. Yes.
Right.
That would have been a cool promotional marketing ploy. Yeah, definitely.
You have to ship them 24 hours before they got moldy.
Right, exactly. Thank you so much to both Jennifer and Michael. Thank you all for being here today. Let's Get Physical premieres Saturday, October 15th at 8/7 Central on Lifetime. Thank you for joining us and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.